stems from a very narrow conception of legal ethics that's taught in law schools. It tends to be about the relationship between the lawyer and the client and the obligations that lawyers have to represent their clients, rather than a broader conception of a lawyer's responsibility to the political system, to the constitutional system as a whole. And they have obligations to that are just as important as their obligation to represent their clients.
We have quite a few judges who have not actually studied things like EU law or European Convention on Human Rights law, because by the time they were in law school, this was not a reality.
We don't train our law school students, and hence our ultimate judges, to read more broadly outside of it, to read about history, to read about democratic theory, to read about how democracy, the principles of democracy and justice are essentially politically contested ideas, and to deal with how we contest those ideas.
Well, if we want to have the judges towards democracy, we have to train the students to be democratic judges.
I really believe that the judges and also academia and also civil society, because it was mentioned before, must go hand in hand to improve the quality of the judicial decisions, to provide legal education, and to bring the citizens and the judiciary closer to each other.
I find that the media, although often well-intentioned, often does not understand what courts are doing, and most of the media articles I read about court actions in the United States are not about the basis for the decision, but about the public interest or newsworthy part of the decision. Can you believe that a judge did this or did that? That does not help usually in education. And so courts helping media understand better how courts work, I think, is a critical step.
But that's not something that I want to tell you after all these discussions. It is that political illiteracy is still very much present in our societies. I think that is the basic cornerstone that we need to start our change, because most of the citizens of EU thinks that democracy is the possibility to go to voting places periodically, and that is not that. People of EU, citizens of EU, doesn't have basic democratic skills. That is something that not only judges, but also NGOs and members of faculty should address. Because if our citizens don't understand the basics of democracy, they don't understand what the rule of law means. And with that kind of attitude, we will never start to change perception of the judge's work in the future.
No democracy can survive without solid rule of law foundations.